Right now on Good Morning America First Look, 2 National Guardsmen shot in Washington, blocks from the White House. Sources now revealing the suspect is believed to be from Afghanistan. What we're learning about how he entered the country, and the Trump administration overnight now suspending immigration from Afghanistan.
Also breaking, the fire disaster in Hong Kong. Dozens killed, hundreds unaccounted for. Overnight, how this fire spread so quickly between these 7 apartment buildings and the men now under arrest.
Pope Leo's historic journey, departing overnight on a trip that will take him to the Middle East.
And on this Thanksgiving, worries about the wind. Will the balloons fly? The forecast and what's new this year at the Macy's and the Philadelphia Thanksgiving Day parades. We are live for all the parade preps.
From ABC News, this is Good Morning America First Look.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Thanksgiving. I'm Lionel Moise.
I'm Sophie Flay. We begin with the breaking news overnight. New details about the man accused of shooting 2 National Guardsmen in Washington near the White House.
Sources say the suspect, believed to be from Afghanistan, came to the U.S. in 2021 after reportedly working for the CIA there. Now, President Trump is demanding a review of all immigrants from that country.
This morning, 2 National Guard members are in critical condition after being shot just blocks from the White House in what investigators call a targeted attack.
The suspect came around the corner, raised his arm with a firearm, and discharged it at the National Guard members.
The suspect, identified as 29-year-old Ramanullah Lochinwall, allegedly tracked the guardsman before opening fire. He was then shot by other Guard members and was taken into custody critically injured.
The reason that this suspect is in custody is because of the bravery of the men and women of the National Guard who responded due to their extensive training to secure American lives today.
Sources say Lochinwall is believed to be from Afghanistan and entered the U.S. in 2021 during the Biden administration. Sources say he was granted asylum earlier this year under the Trump administration. President Trump overnight called for the re-examination of all immigrants from Afghanistan admitted under the Biden administration, saying we must take all necessary measures to ensure the removal of any alien from any country who does not belong here or add benefit to our country.
Let's start moving!
The FBI is investigating the shooting as a potential act of international terrorism, trying to determine if it was inspired by an international terror group. The victims, a man and a woman, are both National Guard members from West Virginia and were on orders from President Trump to help reduce crime in the nation's capital. Now the president is ordering 500 more troops to Washington. They'll join the more than 2,000 already there. Critics have argued their presence is unnecessary and is an overreach of federal authority. A judge ruled just last week that the deployment in D.C. likely violates federal law, but the judge delayed the ruling from taking effect to give the Trump administration time to appeal. Overnight, the president insisting the deployment will continue, saying, "We will not be deterred from the mission the service members were so nobly fulfilling."
And breaking overnight, CIA Director John Ratcliffe telling Fox News the suspect in the D.C. shooting previously worked with the CIA and U.S. forces in Afghanistan, and that's why he was allowed to come to the U.S. in 2021 after the U.S. withdrawal. ABC News has not confirmed that report. The Trump administration is now suspending immigration requests from Afghanistan pending a review of security protocols.
Well, extra security is on hand for today's Macy's parade in New York. More than 1,000 police officers will be stationed along the parade route, supported by other units, including canines, aerial surveillance, and the bomb squad. 8,000 people are marching in the parade, with millions cheering them on. The parade will feature 42 balloons. And new this year, Buzz Lightyear, along with Pac-Man and Mario from Super Mario Brothers. But there's concern that heavy winds could ground the balloons today. They're not allowed to fly if the wind exceeds 23 miles per hour, and forecasters say we might be just on the edge of that. We'll check the forecast in just a moment. But another big parade today is in Philadelphia.
Yeah, Danny New is at the oldest Thanksgiving parade in the U.S., where a special balloon is taking flight today. Isn't that right, Danny?
You're darn right, Lionel, and hello, Sophie, as well. And you mentioned the wind. There was some drama here for a hot second there because they told me organizers said that if the wind gets into the teens, upper teens, they might have to hold off on the balloons, but we have gotten the clear from what I'm hearing, so that's a great sign. And right next to me, we have this beautiful Thanksgiving float. Wonderful. Harvest is in the air, guys. Like you said, the oldest Thanksgiving Day parade in the country started in 1920. We're on year 106. The first parade had 15 floats, including Santa was the last one. But now so much goes into this parade, hundreds of volunteers. We have many balloons that you mentioned, and most importantly of all, at least to me, GMA for the first time is going to have its mascot, Ray, floating above the parade, 45 feet tall. It took 3 months to get him ready. There were clay modeling, they were sketching to get him ready to go, but he's going to be inflated in just a little bit. I'm standing not too far from where the balloons are going to be inflated. And also, guys, so many appearances are going to be happening from both celebrities in the ABC family. We're going to have Ken Jennings from Jeopardy, Vanna White and Ryan Seacrest from Wheel of Fortune, the cast of Abbott Elementary, now in season 5. You know, of course, takes place in Philly, created by Quinta Brunson, who's from Philly, went to Temple University just up the road. We're going to have Sam Champion, Good Morning America, here in a little bit. And also some fun musical performances. Beauty and the Beast is going to be here. Marty and Doc from Back to the Future will be performing as well, guys. So a lot of fun, including the floats, the balloons, the appearances, the performances, and of course, Ray, who is going to be gigantic to look at, guys. And hopefully not too much wind. As you can tell, my hair's been ruffling all over the place as you guys have seen me throughout the morning because it's pretty cold.
You look great, Danny.
Look, you look great. Clearly the biggest celebrity there is our Danny New. Danny,
Right.
that is so exciting and can't wait to see Ray make the debut. We're going to check back in with you in just a few moments. You and your good hair.
Yeah,
All
right.
The wind isn't the only complication weather-wise today, though.
Yes, some areas of the upper Midwest are seeing blizzard conditions with more than a foot of snow. Our Lee Goldberg has the forecast. Hey, Lee.
Good morning and happy Thanksgiving. It's actually a lull on the Thanksgiving weather map across much of the country, but one cross-country storm that's lifted into Canada is still having big winds over the Great Lakes into the northeast, and that's triggering the lake effect snows. You also have Arctic air, very chilly, Minneapolis to Chicago. We're going to snow big time over the weekend in Chicago. Gusty winds in New York, 35-mile-per-hour gusts could mean some restrictions of the Thanksgiving Day parade, 30-mile-per-hour gusts in Philly. And then the new cross-country storm developing over the northwest. More on that in a second. Look how the lake snows are going strong here as we go through later tonight and into Friday. And there could be over a foot of snow south of Buffalo and north of Syracuse. They'll shut down as we go into the weekend. So then the snows on Friday will move into the northern plains, and you'll see lake effect snow starting to wind down. The storm really gets into high gear as we go into Saturday. Big snows along I-80, I-90. I mean, Omaha to Chicago. We're going to snow in Chicago from Saturday morning all the way into midday Sunday. Heavy rains to the south. Then that rain reaches the East Coast on Sunday, but it looks a lot lighter, minor travel delays. That's your forecast. I'm ABC News meteorologist Lee Goldberg. Happy Thanksgiving.
Lee, thank you. Now to that deadly inferno in Hong Kong. Several apartment buildings up in flames. Dozens of people killed, hundreds missing overnight, and now arrests being made. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio has the latest. Nicole, good morning.
Sophie, good morning. At least 55 people were killed in this fire, but that number could rise dramatically because more than 270 were still unaccounted for overnight. That fire is still smoldering 24 hours later. And to give some perspective on this, more than 4,800 people lived in this apartment complex, many of them elderly. The flames quickly spread between 7 different apartment buildings, spreading across the bamboo scaffolding and the green construction netting that covers those buildings. Now, the cause of this fire remains unknown this morning, but officials say it started on the scaffolding. Residents say it was common to find cigarette butts near the windows left behind by some of the construction workers there. 3 men have already been arrested, including 2 directors of a construction company. But Hong Kong is one of the last places in the world where bamboo is still widely used for construction. And right now, crews are trying to access more of the buildings, searching for those who may still be missing. Lionel.
Really just heartbreaking to see those images. Nicole, thank you. A potential roadblock in the push for peace in Ukraine. President Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, is expected to meet with Vladimir Putin next week. But a senior Russian diplomat says Russia will make no big concessions. This comes after significant progress was reported this week in U.S. talks with Ukraine. The biggest issue now, though, concerning how much territory Ukraine will give up, and that remains unresolved.
Overnight, Pope Leo began his first international trip as Pope, which will take him to the Middle East. First, Leo visits Turkey and then Lebanon. His goal is to deliver a message of unity. He's honoring promises made by Pope Francis to visit both countries. His trip to Beirut will come just days after an Israeli military strike near that city.
All right, still ahead, Apple TV pulling a new series because of plagiarism allegations.
Also ahead, new fallout after an executive at Campbell's is heard mocking people who buy the company's soup.
And the new legal battle involving Johnny Cash and Coca-Cola. We'll explain next.
Man, across the deserts, bare man, I breathe the mountain air, man. Go, 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 go!
A new controversy at Apple TV. An upcoming series called The Hunt has been pulled after allegations of plagiarism. The French thriller has been accused of stealing its story from a 1976 action film. The production company saying it's reviewing the accusations and takes intellectual property issues seriously.
Well, the state of Georgia has dropped all election interference charges against President Trump. Former DA Fani Willis brought those charges after a phone call in 2021 in which Trump asked the Secretary of State to, quote, find the votes he needed to win the state. But the new prosecutor now says the people of Georgia are not served by pursuing this case, and he argued it is not illegal to question or challenge election results.
Campbell's Soup has fired an executive after a recording surfaced in which he's heard making racist comments and disparaging the company's products. Martin Bally was a vice president at Campbell's. In a lawsuit, a former employee said he recorded Bally making these comments a year ago.
We have that's for poor people. Who buys our I don't buy Campbell's products barely anymore. It's unhealthy. Now that I know what the in it, I get meat, bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer.
Bally was also heard calling certain workers idiots. Campbell's called those comments about its food completely false. So far, no comment from that fired executive.
The estate of Johnny Cash is suing Coca-Cola, claiming the voice used in a Coke commercial sounds too much like the legendary singer. The lawsuit does acknowledge that the voice is a Johnny Cash impersonator. Here's a clip so you can judge for yourself.
I stand alone with fire inside. This heart's a drum. I won't subside.
The estate says Cash's voice is protected under Tennessee law aimed at protecting easily recognizable voices. The lawsuit does not ask for money but demands Coke stop using the ad.
Very interesting. All right, coming up on this Thanksgiving morning, we look back at some of the stories this year that we are most thankful for.
Two of our favorites coming up. Welcome back to Good Morning America First Look. And on this Thanksgiving morning, we are taking a look at the stories this year that we are most thankful for.
Yeah, two of them were actually covered by our Danny New, who rejoins us from the Philly Thanksgiving parade route. Good morning, Danny.
Good morning, guys. Yes, the oldest Thanksgiving parade in the country, 106 years young, started in 1920, and I am currently on a Christmas float from our parent company, Disney. Actually, if you look down, we have some gift boxes, so I thought we would just wrap up the year with some of our favorite stories. Huh? Little pun. First story, one of my favorites. This was from over the summer about a bodega owner in New York City who is rewarding kids for their good grades and I think deserves an A+ for how he is helping them.
These are my documents and my grades.
At Zach's Finest Deli on New York Staten Island.
Hi, I got my Student of the Month certificate.
The manager, Whale, is the guy you want to see if something good happens at school.
When I see these kids happy, I see my own.
Whale is a father of 3 whose children are in his home country of Yemen. And last June...
I told you I would get honor roll.
No way, you did it?
Yeah.
He went viral for a bet he made with then 12-year-old Zamir. For the record, it was Zamir's idea, and here is what he wagered with a handshake.
If he can make it to the honor roll, he gets to grab whatever he wants.
That's all you want?
Nah.
What does he want?
It took him a few months, but by June, Zamir made the honor roll and was getting as many bags of Doritos as he wanted. Within a few days, the video started picking up millions of views on TikTok, and you can guess what happened next.
When the video went viral, other kids started coming.
Fast forward a year, and now Wales says kids are coming in every day to exchange their good marks for good eats. Although he says it's not always for snacks.
What are the most popular items?
Eggs.
Eggs.
Bread, milk, and then I'm like, listen, grab some stuff for yourself too, man. I know you want some candy. Grab it, just grab it.
To help pay for this program, Whale's brother set up a GoFundMe, which has raised more than $70,000. He also sells T-shirts to help fundraise on his website, which is islandok.com. What does ok mean?
Ok is a slang for the bodega man, the Arabic guy, the brother.
Hi, I'm Ok. I got my honor roll.
But why does an ok working 13-hour shifts 6 days a week put in so much effort for this mission?
I never had that help before, you know what I'm saying? It proved to me that everybody, all the kids is very smart. They just need someone to believe in them.
One of my favorite things about Whale is that he rewards the kids as they keep coming back. So if they keep getting good grades, their attendance keeps being perfect, they come back, they get more eggs, more bread, more Doritos, whatever they want. It's one of my favorite things about that story. Now, coming up, another one of my favorites from earlier in the year, a woman who also expressed a lot of gratitude as well with the age-old lost tradition of a handwritten thank you note. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the oldest Thanksgiving Day parade in the country. We are live in Philadelphia. This will be broadcast on ABC later today. We're covering it for you all morning. But first, we were taking a look back at some of our favorite stories that involve thankfulness, that involve gratitude. This one is a woman named Ellen Webster who definitely expresses thankfulness, but in this case with the handwritten note. Take a look.
In Hoboken, New Jersey, this is a walk Ellen Webster has made quite often in the past decade, as she worked to achieve her goal of sending 10,000 handwritten thank you notes, if you do the math.
So you've been writing 3 a day, every day, for more than 10 years?
More or less.
She was initially inspired by a John Kralik book called A Simple Act of Gratitude. And of course, Ellen had to get really creative to think up 10,000 people.
And I started having so much fun kind of observing where my attention was drawn and to what people and to what activities could I write and thank somebody for.
Ellen wrote to doctors, nurses, coffee shop baristas, post office employees, her favorite authors, as well as bookstore and theater owners all around the country.
Some people even comment on the stamps.
At one point, she even hand-delivered a thank you note to an employee at the grocery store who offered to carry her groceries to her car.
What did he say when he got the thank you note?
He hugged me. I just made 700 of them.
Also, she stuffs each letter with an origami heart.
Lots of precision.
For the record, Ellen says many people do not reply, but she has held on to her favorite responses, like from her high school English teacher, Mr. Tracy.
Take care. Lionel. He never called himself Lionel.
But for thank you note number 10,000, which she just completed a few weeks ago, Ellen wrote to the man who first inspired her, author John Kralik. And he said, while at first he was a little surprised by how many she had written,
he said he hoped that it had brought blessings to my life, which I don't think of it that way, but they certainly have.
Well, guys, just for the record, Ellen did write me a thank you note, and it was handwritten, and it was beautiful. It's hard to imagine somebody writing something right now because I can barely feel my fingers. I think it's 38 here right now with a 15-mile-an-hour winds, but I'm very excited for this next segment coming up after the break. I'm going to talk to a balloon expert about how they handle all these balloons. We'll be right back.
Checking more top stories, the man accused of shooting and critically wounding 2 National Guard members in Washington worked with U.S. government forces, including the CIA in Afghanistan. That's according to the CIA director in a statement cited by Fox News. Sources say the suspect came to the U.S. in 2021 and was granted asylum this year. The Trump administration is now suspending immigration requests from Afghanistan pending a review.
Police say Dallas Cowboys star Marshawn Nealon hit speeds of 145 miles per hour fleeing a traffic stop this month. Authorities say he later took his own life. His family said he had been dealing with mental health issues.
6 more infants have been hospitalized with botulism linked to recalled baby formula. The formula from ByHeart is still on store shelves in some areas. 37 babies have now been hospitalized across 17 states.
Tens of thousands of people have been stranded by flooding in southern Thailand. At least 33 people were killed. One city saw the most rain in one day in 300 years.
Today's weather, a new storm that will affect post-Thanksgiving travel moves into the northwest. And there's lake effect snow from the upper Midwest to upstate New York.
And let's head back to Danny New, who's in Philly, where parade preps are being finalized. Hey, Danny.
What's up, guys? Yes, here at the nation's oldest Thanksgiving Day parade, I have the balloon coordinator with me. That's got to be a pretty important job, right? His name is Tom Scully. Tom, how many Thanksgiving Day parades here in Philly is this for you?
This is my 17th.
17th working. How many have you been to?
I've been to probably 30.
30. And
30 years, yeah.
You were mentioning to me that you lost some sleep last night. You heard about the winds. Can you take me through that decision process?
So I don't make that decision. I wait for that phone call, but I knew the forecast was for high winds today. We have a cutoff, I believe it's between 16 and 19 miles an hour, and we were right there. We got the phone call right at about 3:30 that we had no contingency, so we're good to go. The balloons are going to fly up the parkway, so we're excited about that.
Now, I have to ask, there's a new balloon this year that I'm very excited about, near and dear to my heart. Our guy, Ray. Yes. What can you tell me about Is he in good hands? Is he going to be okay?
He's in great hands. GMA has a great team coordinating with our parade family, and they're in good shape.
What is it like to actually pump a balloon up with helium? Like, is it like a crazy fire hose? You're like trying to hold that thing still?
It's not a fire hose. It's actually a pretty smooth process. We start at the top, and we just they're laying down, and we just lift them up, and they just go up and just start going. But as they're getting inflated, we're putting more and more people on it to keep it safe. It's one of our most important things here.
We like safety. It came with the wind, with the helium. I know you have so much work to do, so I'll let you get back to work. Yeah, it was very nice of you to come hang out there. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And let's say the thing we plan on saying together.
You got it.
Go birds. Yes, he knows I'm from around here. He's got to go back to work. Okay, guys, toss it back to you. It's almost balloon floating time.
Thanks, Danny. And you can watch the parade at 9 a.m. Eastern on ABC News Live and Hulu.